coach, right? How in the world do I pick one person over another and say, this is our outstanding wrestler? Because each of you have outstanding qualities, right? But we're going to recognize greatness when it happens too, right? When we achieve things not given to us, we need to recognize that and we need to honor that. So we're going to do some of that as well today. So I've got to hurry because we only have a half hour and some of you have an EOC test after this. Okay? But I cannot impress enough upon you how proud I am of all of you. I think where we're at in the room during those 4 months of season, and for many of you building up to season, has been incredible. Right? I know that there's been a little bit going on in the past couple weeks. I know that, at times we all have made mistakes. But I need you to understand that my expectations are such that, just like anything else, some of you are choosing track and football at this time and not making it for wrestling practices, and that's your choice. I don't begrudge you for that. But as I've said before, just like I've told Josh's dad, where's Josh at? Josh doesn't think he's going to run cross country maybe next year. So my conversation there is, you've got to be okay. Will that give you a better opportunity to do what you want to in wrestling? Yes. But what happens if you don't reach those goals? You're not a varsity wrestler. You're not a placer. And I'm not saying you won't. But you've got to be okay. You've got to, if you're giving in one area, you're taking from another. Right? That's not what I want to spend a whole lot of time. But we do, some of us that have said we have goals and aspirations to do some of the things that we're going to talk about today. You've got to recommit and get in. Because we haven't had that to a large degree. Our numbers have been poor. Enough of that, right? And as far as expectations, I believe, if you look at the very best people, the most successful people in life, they're not just making good decisions during their season. They're making good decisions throughout the year, right? Doesn't guarantee, but it puts you in a much better place, number one, to be healthy and safe, and two, to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So with that being said, we're going to start. We're just going to go through. I started a few years ago. Every one of you are in the room doing what we ask you to do. Whether you're in the varsity lineup and you get a varsity pin or a varsity match or not, I ask you to do the same things that everybody's doing. And I think it's important that you're recognized for that. And I've told you before, it never matters. It doesn't matter if you ever make the varsity lineup, you're ever a state qualifier or a placer. Those are all what we're shooting for. But when you leave our program, if you do what's asked of you, you're going to be a better person, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit with the catcher sides and what the stand catcher side Memorial Scholarship is about. It's what our program is about. Being a good worker, a good friend, eventually a good father, and a husband. Right? All right. So, letter winners. We're going to start, everybody is a varsity letter winner this year, right? So we're starting with freshmen. Isaac, you in here? Fripp, did you make it in?
Will you guys go grab it and come around this table towards me and then come out this way?
If coaches want to come up, you can hand two, and then I can just stay kind of over here. It doesn't matter, though. Rain Harris.
Please, and hold it. Come towards me. Closer, closer, closer.
Hello, Mallory.
Here, ready? Keith. Okay, go.
John Krupe. Max
Go to the
Krupe.
bucket.
Actually, why don't we do this? All freshmen stand against the wall once you're
perfect.
done. We can get a picture of all the freshmen.
Wait there.
So you didn't text me back?
Hey, make sure you got a pen. Yeah,
Your
yeah.
eyes were closed, so now I have to AI it.
Good Lord. All
I
right.
can't find
Coaches over there. All right. Where are we at? Tucker. Zane.
Go to both.
Kai. Adrian. Brock, make it in.
Keep coming.
Taven.
Stop at the end of the table. Yep.
Andrew. Matt. And Kendall.
Slide, slide, keep sliding, keep sliding, keep sliding. And then step forward to the table. Just a little bit.
All right. You guys have heard me say it again, and I'm going to stroke their egos a little bit more. All right. As a class, this group of freshmen have been the biggest group that we've had, and probably coming in, not that we haven't had individuals and smaller groups, but as a whole with this numbers and keeping them in there all year long, I would say, as far as enjoying wrestling, enjoying the physicality of the sport, and stepping in and being hard-nosed workers from day one, has done as well as about any group that we've had, right? So again, we're going to get in there this spring and the rest of the spring and what we can this summer, even with the other things, and commit so that we're where we need to be next year, right? I'm going to say something. We had several of them that wrestled some varsity matches. Kendall, obviously had a pretty tough guy in front of him. I hear at 138, wrestled up a weight class kind of, could have probably wrestled 32, but ended up 17-0 on the season, right? Which was pretty impressive. For those of you that got to watch Kendall wrestle this year, and he may start by losing at the beginning of the match or giving up points at the beginning of the match, and it's usually based on size. But man, he was coming back, and he was coming back with a force, and he usually wore people down and found ways to get wins. So it's pretty impressive. But lots of good things from this class. We're going to continue to see that.
Hang on, smile. 1, 2, 3, cheese. You, okay.
All right. You guys have a seat. Sophomores, we got 2 of you that earned your letter. That's going to be Hunter and Caleb. Come on up. First varsity letter for wrestling. The rest of you, this is your second, so you'll get a bar. Josh Akins. Where are we at? Caden. Mason. Ryan. And Isaac. I'm sorry. Second letter, it was Caleb Creason and Hunter Willis. I don't think Hunter's here, is he? Can I come in? Okay, this is our sophomore crew, right? We have 2 here. Obviously, Ryan and Caden were both state qualifiers for us this year. Ryan ended up, come on in, Isaiah. You're coming up next. What you get, some donuts there? Buffalo, okay. So state qualifiers in Caden Johnson and Ryan Monroe. Ryan was about 13 seconds away from being a state placer this year. Right, a little bit of a mental lapse at the end cost him, but back in, hopefully making those improvements so we get over that hump. Caden, state qualifier, struggled a lot of the season, but really came on strong at the end of the season, ended up qualifying, having a great district tournament, and wrestled well at the state tournament, or district, yeah. Caden also one of our 4 all-state wrestlers, right? So Josh, I'm going to mention Josh there. If there has been an attendance award winner this spring, it's going to be Josh Akins. All right? Josh is doing everything that he can to make himself a better person and a better wrestler. He jumped on the opportunity to go to Folk Style Nationals. The tournament didn't go real well for him, but he immediately paid his extra money so that he could get some more matches. Every opportunity he has to be in the room, he's in the room. All right? Every opportunity he has to get a lift in when he's not involved in another sport, he's getting a lift in. So, kudos to him, and he's going to come out better for it, right? All right, you guys have a seat? Yeah, get your picture. Juniors, Adam Bill Green gets a bar. Scott Fripp, actually, come on up. He gets a letter. Adam Bill Green bar. Tucker I bar. Aiden Hahn, come get your bar.
Is that the only letter for this one?
Isaiah Melgar, come get your bar. Lane Weiss. All right, get your bar. We'll talk a little bit more. Obviously, our junior group, right? If you notice, what kind of happens as you guys go through from your freshman year to your sophomore year to your junior year to your senior year? What's happening with these sizes? Getting smaller, right? A lot of people, it's a little harder to put in that work, but maybe they aren't seeing the results. There's other things going on, right? This is a smaller group, but they're doing good things. We'll talk a little bit more, obviously, about Aiden and Lane, right? It was great for Scott to come out this year, be another addition to the room, got some good varsity matches in for us and filled the hole at times, and hopefully accomplished what he wanted to do in terms of helping him become a better athlete, I think. right? Lose some weight a little quicker. Adam is another one, as you guys know, that for the most part, Adam, if he's got an opportunity to come in, he's going to come in and try and get better. We've been missing him a little bit, right? So we're going to get back to that, right? And then Isaiah came back to us this year. Isaiah, as you know, is a pretty athletic individual. If you watched his technique, it got quite a bit better this year. He cleaned that up, and he's always been hard-nosed, and he's going to get in and battle and fight, right? Pictures?
Yes. Cute.
All right. Seniors, I'm going to save you guys. I'll come back to you, all right? All right. So let's do, you guys will all get bars. I'll get those, except for Baylor. Baylor gets a letter, don't you? Nice. All right. Next thing we're going to do is our captains, all right? You guys did it a little bit different this year. These are the guys that you voted on, right, to be your team leaders. And I think obviously it was good choices. That was there. That was there. That was there. All right. So, all right, call your name. Come on up, Zeke. Here, you guys.
You guys are like back to the bone. No one claps for anything.
Jason's not here. Aiden. Okay. Kai and Presley. There you go. So again, normally we go with 4 captains each year, right? We had a tie this year, and I thought that we had 5 that were deserving. So these were the guys that led you. If you look, there are a lot of time spent, and you can throw Jace in there too. If you look at the people, we say it over and over, that have the most success, it's not just the 4 months of the year. It is all year round to some degree, right? You know, Presley and Aiden and Zeke for the most part growing up, and Kai when he was younger, year round, right? Kai's a worker. He likes to work, so some of it, not so much, but again, these guys have put a lot of time and a lot of effort in, and their successes, you know, they show for it, right? But again, these are your captains. These are the guys that you chose, and they did a great job leading us this year. You get your picture. Have a seat. All right, let's do our statistical awards. Again, you guys know I stopped giving the subjective awards, right? But our statistical awards, these are our leaders. Let's start with pins, right? Our pin leader this year, I know I like to usually do the top 5, however, with the track, they don't do a top 5 for me anymore. All right, so our pin leader this year was Aiden Hahn with 28. Our takedown leader this year with 120, Presley Johnson. Yeah, stay there, stay there. We'll get, these will be our, we'll just have a picture with statistical. Yep. And then our winning percentage, probably the closest that I've ever seen. You know, in the past we gave most wins, but then that's really not fair because some people have more matches than others. So we went to win percentage. Our second highest winning percentage was .936. Our winning percentage, highest winning percentage was .938. Aiden Hahn. Never had one that close. All right, so these are statistical winners.
All right, can I get, well, I'll get one with both of you. I need to get,
Yes, it's varsity.
two. And then I want one with just Aiden.
That's a good call.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
right, where are we at on time?
You are at
11:18.
11:18.
Okay, we're gonna fly. Okay. So real quick, all conference, right? We had Cayeta took first, right? Presley took first. Zeke took fifth. Ended his wrestling career, which kind of sucks, right? Aiden took second. Lane third. Ryan Monroe second. Brock Wade was sixth, right? So those were our all conference award winners. All district, our 7 qualifiers, Ty first, Presley first, Tucker I third. I probably didn't talk enough about him towards the end of the year. You know, he went from being a backup 215 to taking a spot at 285 at heavyweight, and really put a strong end of the year together, and really wasn't far off of being a state placer. Where are we at? Lane, I said Lane, right? Lane third. Yeah, nope, Aiden Hahn first. Lane Weiss third. Caden Johnson third. And Ryan Monroe second. Our academic all-state, that means that you had a GPA, a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher for this year, and we're a state qualifier. Presley Johnson, Aiden Hahn, Lane Weiss, and Kate Johnson, right? I think for Lane, that's 2 times now, right? You have 2 times? Yep. 2-time, huh? Yeah. Aiden is now a 3-time academic all-state wrestler, and Presley is now a 4-time academic all-state wrestler, right? Talk about that in a second. All right.
I'm gonna need a picture of those people before we leave.
Academic all-state, okay.
Well, no, all 3. All districts, all
Okay.
conference.
All right,
all-
we gotta hurry. I think there's some EOC testing.
I know,
maybe
I know,
coming.
I know.
All right, so let's talk Aiden Hahn, right? I probably should have been doing this for a while, but obviously it is a great honor to win a state championship, right? As we've said earlier, you know, Aiden's put a lot of time and a lot of effort in. He's traveled the United States. He's taken many a butt chewing from many people to get where he's at. The difference in his confidence level last year and this year is obviously the Billy has been there in the past that have put him over the top. You know, it is not easy to beat anyone 4 times, but to beat a 2-time returning state champ 4 times in 1 season and just dominate and basically break him mentally was impressive. Right? So he had a great season. He took 4th in KC, which is about as impressive, if not more impressive, than winning a state championship. So I feel that it's, you know, from here on out, so the state champions probably need something memorabilia-wise. So Aiden, as a singlet here in the shadow box, it just signifies that he was a 2025 Class 3 state champion at 126 pounds. You can clap. There you go. Yeah, turn around and get your picture.
Ready? Oh, cute. 1, 2, 3, cute.
All right. Baylor, come up here. So Baylor, you know, I had no idea that the skill set that Baylor had when he came in. I was really quite surprised when he started coming in and working out last spring. I was pretty impressed and really didn't understand how much he had when he was, you know, a little guy. With that being said, it's very difficult to stop wrestling for 4 years or so and then jump right back in. But obviously filled a big hole for us and did a good job doing that. Showed a lot of determination and a lot of discipline, right? It's not easy to wrestle our schedule for anyone, but to step in as a senior, not having wrestled since he was in middle school, was impressive. So I tried to individualize, you know, just wrestling a year. There weren't a lot of stats for Baylor, so I chose a quote. Obviously, he's a 1-time varsity letter winner, but the quote I chose for him from Dan Gable is, once you have wrestled, everything in life is easy. Right? I think that's pretty fitting after your senior year. Hopefully, those lessons that you'll learn, you'll take to Missouri S&T, becoming an engineer, correct?
No, I'm going to vote that.
You're going to MOBAB, you switched it up, what are you doing at MOBAB?
This third.
Physical therapy, very good. All right, and then I have our Isaiah 41:10 Bible verse in there as well. So we appreciate all that you did for us this year. Obviously, you're a part of the family, and anytime you want to come back and get a workout in, feel free. It's yours.
I'm too close, sorry. Oh my God. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Zeke. I'll just read what I have for him. Zeke had 120 career varsity wins. He was a 3-time state qualifier. He was a team captain in 2025. Obviously, we had a career-ending injury at the conference tournament, which is unfortunate. You know, Zeke has been one of probably the most technical wrestlers that I've been able to coach. Sometimes we weren't real confident and didn't quite get over it. I don't think that's sure. Man, anyway. One of the most technical wrestlers we had, but this year he was putting together that confidence piece. Had a really good hard luck tournament at Kansas City. Was about real close to having a very significant win when he dislocated his finger. We struggled coming back from that a little bit over Christmas break, getting the workouts we need, and then we blew the knee out at the conference. But it doesn't take away from the career he had. Great career, has done new things, from St. James until you got here. So we wish him the best as a barber. Still doing barber school, all right? So when we need our haircut, we'll be down and say, you gonna stay in Farmington?
I don't know.
Don't know?
Hopefully.
All right. Get your picture here. Jace is not here, so we'll skip that one. Ty? Ty has had an impressive career. If you look, he had 115 career wins. He was a Class 3 state placer last year at 5th. Nearly missed out again this year. You know, if you look at what he had to overcome with his back, and you know, obviously there was the pain of dealing with that, but also, and again, stylistically, when Kai is Kai, he's able to put himself into some unorthodox positions and come out of those unorthodox positions, and that's what made him special. There are very few people that are able to do what Kai does that I've seen in wrestling. You know, and so when we had that rib injury, it kind of affected, I think, his ability and his confidence to be Kai and to get Western, right? But he was real close to becoming a 2-time state placer. I think we've only had 18 2-time placers in our school history, right? And he was right there, and that's impressive. It's an impressive career. So again, 115 career wins. He was a 5th place placer, 3-time state qualifier, 92 career pins. 115 wins, 92 career pins, right? I think that was just shy of 90% of the time he was going to get a pin, right? And then I put on there my favorite quote of Kai's is "Let's get Western," right? So that was one of our go-to battle cries. Okay, with Lane leading the prayer and Kai getting Western. But we also added in Isaiah 41:10 for all of them. But again, we appreciate all you've done. And he's going to go to work with ATG Turf, I believe. Yeah. And then if he doesn't like that, he's going to think about going back to wrestling, which he would have had the opportunity to do. But he's a worker. Thank you, Kai. Last senior, Presley Johnson.
I know.
We're almost there. All right. So, obviously, Presley's had an outstanding career, 156 career wins. He was, his Class 3 state placements went 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. He becomes only the 7th individual to be a 4-time placer in the history of Farmington wrestling. This year, he was voted the Class 3 Wrestler of the Year by Class 3 coaches, and he was a 4-time team captain, among other things, right? We could go on. Obviously, his leadership is going to be missed. You know, he's one of the guys, no matter what was going on. He was going to be in working out. If he wasn't here, he was at Thoroughbred, of course. But obviously has had a great career. He's going on to wrestle at the Citadel. It was great to honor that the other day, but most of you getting in on that picture. I know he's going to continue to do great things there and come back and mentor in his off time. But thank you for all that you've done, and good luck in the future. All right. I hope I haven't missed anything to this point. Last thing we're going to do.
I moved it when you went over there, and I forgot to move it back.
Yeah, I move a lot. So the last thing we're going to do here, and it's important, we started back in 2021. We have Julie Ketcherside and Stanton Ketcherside. For those of you that don't know Stanton, he's helped out in the room coaching some, but he was also a wrestler for us. Julie was married to Stan Ketcherside, who was our first state placer. So Stan came through the Farmington program. He was our first placer back in 1983. He took fourth. The impressive thing about that, obviously being the first to do anything is kind of difficult to do, but it predates all of our kids' club stuff, right? So he just came in and wrestled for three and a half months of the year, and by his senior year became a state placer, took fourth. Stan was the embodiment of what we're trying to develop in our program, right? He was a loving and protective husband and father, a hard worker, and a great friend to many people. He passed away March 26, 2021, after battling cancer, like he battled all things in life, a courageous warrior. And that's what our wrestling program is supposed to be about, creating courageous warriors, right? I see you, girls. I'll get you in a second. I'm sorry. Stan was a guy that if you knew him, you wanted him in your corner. Upon Stan's passing, Julie's wish was to start the Stan Ketcherside Memorial Scholarship, and we did it immediately. She did it immediately. I just had the honor of helping her pick who that first recipient was. So this is the 5th year that we've given the Stan Ketcherside Memorial Scholarship. When we talked about what we wanted it to embody, what we wanted the scholarship to mean, she wanted to ensure the recipient exemplified the qualities that Stan demonstrated throughout his life, including and most importantly his never quit attitude. And as at that time we kind of agreed upon the quote, and we say it every year, I don't know how I'm going to win, I just know I'm not going to lose. And that's kind of the embodiment of his courageous warrior mentality. And again, what we're trying to promote, there is no option to lose, right? Don't know how we're going to get it done, but we're not going to give up. We're going to find a way. And as we talked about this year, when we hit that adversity, what do we say? What do we say, Kai, when that adversity sets in? Say it. No, what else? What do we say? Adversity sets in. We've got the toughest guy in the bracket other than ourselves. My back's hurting a little bit. Help him out. What do we say? Good. Yeah. Give it to me, right? Okay. So, we're running short on time, and I don't want to shortchange it, but this time we're going to introduce our 5th recipient of the Stan Ketcherside Memorial Scholarship, and that's Presley Johnson. You guys come to the center. We go out there in Montana, get pictures.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You deserve it.
All right. 1, 2, 3, you.
Couple quick things, and then we're going to wrap. I know. Yep, I got you. Couple things, we're going to wrap. Thank you, Coach Mills. You guys don't understand, and Dr. Lamons, what your administration, what this district allows us to do, and quite frankly, get by with, right? And hopefully, it is to the greater benefit. Okay. I also want to thank our stat girls. Sierra is coming back next year. She'll have a couple, but I'm going to have to replace Lily and Mallory, our 2 seniors, right? They've been with us for 4 years, and so I know it's not much, but come out here, girls. We appreciate all that you've done for us. I'm going to end on this. I'll get them out of here. So for those of you, I also want to thank Montana, right? She promotes you guys and has done great things getting the word out about you.
We got
And
up to 90,000 viewers. That's really cool.
so I want to end on this, not because, again, we've talked a lot about Presley, but for those of you that saw the post that Montana posted the other day, I was not aware. Most of the time, colleges have symbolism to their colors, right? And I wasn't aware about the Citadel, and Montana put a nice write-up, and I'm gonna read it because it hits home at what my wish is for you, right? Whether you're going to the Citadel or whether you're going in the workforce or whether you're going to be back next year. She says that he traded out our black and gold for some powder blue this past Monday, and we have absolutely no complaints. Blue, blue symbolizes the clear sky with unlimited horizons, which foretells of a citadel and a cadet's future. White symbolizes purity of thought and actions, honesty and decency. All elements of the Citadel Code and what we're trying to preach in our program. I believe that it's not just 4 months of the year. I believe that each and every one of you can make decisions all year long. I have that expectation, and I don't care what others say. It's not realistic. I believe it is realistic. And I believe that when you live that life, when you choose to live that life, you're going to be a better person and you're going to get where you need to be. We'll end with the Bible quote that she put in. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. And with that, Lane's going to say a quick prayer and we're going to class.
Dear God, thank you for letting us all join here again as a team. I hope for all our seniors to go off and live a life that honors you and get a wife that helps them honor you and stay on the right path. Hope everyone that's coming back next year to have a good season and stay healthy the whole year. And if that doesn't happen, that whatever happens is they see that it's all your plan. And to help us to stay strong as a team in our faith and in each other. Help us to have a good season next year. In God's name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, fellas.